yeah, man. That thing is fast, man. Holy shit.
I just think it's cool as hell what you guys do.
Let's go, come on. Definitely do it again. You want me to take it through the woods?
No.
Yeah? No kickstart. No kickstart. Alright.
So we're fortunate enough for my buddy Sean to bring out this 2019 KX450. This thing is a monster. And he asked me if I wanted to ride it, do a review on it, and basically let him know what my opinion of it was. One thing I've learned about Sean is you never really know what he's going to bring out to ride, which is great. But once again, he asked if I wanted to hop on and give him a thorough review because he appreciates my reviews and I'm honest about them. And I really have a hard time telling people no. So there's a couple things we need to talk about. Coming from the YZ250 and now the KTM 300, both two-stroke bikes, both have a different feel to them, obviously. Hopping on this 2019 KX450 4-stroke, obviously is a huge difference. You guys can appreciate the fact that going from a 252 stroke to a 454 stroke is obviously going to be a difference, whether it's a 97 to a 2019, which everything is going to be completely different. The suspension, I mean the whole entire bike, it's a whole new monster. But let's get this knucklehead out of the way. Now, besides the fact that the seat was extremely hard, it wasn't comfortable at all. And Sean agreed with me on this, said that the seat was just hard, you know, and it's probably because you're not supposed to be on the seat when you're riding these things because they're supercross bikes and you're supposed to be up in the air jumping them and on the pegs and squeezing with your legs. But I'm on the seat because I'm not a professional and it was hard and it was not comfortable. Besides that, the fact that I stalled out. Obviously, you guys saw that. And it's just the difference in trying to get a feel for the bike for me. Because the same thing I did with my buddy Stevens. It was a KTM 350, the 2017, 2018. I went around a corner and stalled it out because it's just the difference in momentum of that motor. And luckily I was able to bump start it while I was back in that corner on Stevens KTM. With this one I wasn't as lucky. I stalled out and stopped and then it just restarted and kept on going. So I want to take you guys through this first lap, taking it slow because you know it is a 2019. It's a very expensive bike, very new. This is the first time Sean has brought it out of basically his garage to get dirty. So I don't want to wreck it. I don't want to be that guy. fortunate enough, and I appreciate it enough to show them enough respect to where I will take it fairly easy until I get comfortable on it. I'm not one of those guys that's gonna go balls to the walls and, oh, if I wreck it, I wreck it. You know, I have a little more respect for the bike and for Sean than that. So I want to try and get my bearings on it and make sure that I do not end up buying the bike. And once again, if you're anything like me and you're on somebody else's bike and you screw something up, you fix it. I mean, that's just how it is. So this bike does have different mapping styles. I don't think you can do it electronically like you can with the new YZs on your phone with an app and all that stuff. But I do know it has 3 different quick connects, kind of like the KTM does with the 3 different power valve springs. There's a green one, a white one, and a black one. The black one is for balls to the wall 100%. I think the white one is intermediate, comes from the factory like that, which is on this bike right now, and the green one is the beginner or the low torquiness of the 3. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I might be wrong, but I'm not sure. Which I thought was pretty cool. It's very easy to swap out. And once again, the downfall is these new bikes. I mean, there's no Kickstarter.
Too short. That's nice thing, man. Whew. It's not shy. I don't know that much. Hey, it's nice, man. I appreciate you letting me ride it. It stall out. I don't know if you heard.
Oh, yeah.
Over there.
Yeah, that deep stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of, seems like it wants to roll through.
Yeah. You gotta get on the RPMs. The seat's hard though.
Ain't it though?
It's really hard, yeah. That's good. You wanna take this one back out? Me too. Alright.
So after a while of riding, I decided to go back and forth, me and Sean on the YZ and then the KX50. Wanted to really do an in-depth review on this bike. So I'm going to show you guys basically, you saw my first lap, and this is my second or third lap, and I'm going to actually put in the last couple laps that I do. And so you can see the progress that I'm trying to make on the bike as I get comfortable going through with it. Because once again, the throttle is completely different. Even though it does have a hydraulic clutch, it still feels a lot different. Basically, it's like a whole nother feel, and I'm sure everyone that watches the review will appreciate that. It's not like anything I've ever ridden before. It's just something you really got to get used to. And I found that I really had to get up on the gas tank and basically try and weight the front wheel because there was so much torque on it that if you weren't careful, the front end was just coming up. Yeah, if you weren't paying attention to what you were doing, you weren't really weary of how the bike reacts basically to that throttle. And that front end is coming up, and you're going to be riding wheelies all over the place. So after riding a little while and going through the woods and having a good time and everything, I wanted to get back on this 450 and really try and get a better feel for it because
It's off.
I wasn't upset, but I was intrigued, and I really wanted to get back on it and just basically give it another shot. And I felt more confident, and I knew that I had a lot more potential on this bike just from the few laps that I've been on.
Look at this guy.
So, as you all know, you can't tell what your camera is actually recording. All you can do is try to rub the mud off every now and then. I had no idea my camera was fogging up. So I apologize for the next few minutes of this video. But we are back, obviously, on the track with the KX450, and we are doing a whole lot better, not stalling out. I'm really trying as much as I can to do a bunch of different things with the clutch and the throttle and brakes and seat positioning, and basically weighting, de-weighting, I mean, and all kinds of different stuff. And I'm trying to talk about it throughout the next couple laps. So I'm gonna leave you guys to it. I'll be back in a minute.
So I think seat position is key. I'm up on this gas
So if you guys can hear, there's been 2 times now where I accidentally clicked into neutral when I'm trying to get into second. And you just gotta really want to get into second with these spikes. And once again, bikes that I'm currently on, if first and second, it's not a big deal to get into. This one, it's a lot tighter gearing.
trying to do different stuff with it and talk about it while I was doing it. Oh yeah. That's a cabled clutch too, isn't it? It's a hydraulic clutch. Shit. Yeah. That thing has some pressure, man. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's real good. Yeah. That's an Electron, man. That's too much for me. It's way too much. Right. Right. Yeah. Right.
It's like I'm not gonna jump on that, you know. I'm like, oh wow, because the power delivery
KX 450 is awesome. The thing is a ton of fun, it really is. But I would not buy one, mainly because it's way too much for the type of riding I do, and basically the type of riding I do, it's just way too much of a bike. I don't need something that big.
That's a really hard pill to swallow, by the way.
So, however, it is a ton of fun. That thing is awesome. So, it's a lot of fun, but it's just something that you have to get used to. First couple laps on it were not that great. I was terrified because it's just so torquey and everything is right there. As soon as you twist the throttle, it's there. So once I found the positioning on the seat that I was comfortable on, to where I could somewhat keep the front end from coming up, when I got into that torquiness of it, it got to be a lot more comfortable. So I think over time, it would be something, if I owned it, over time I'd get used to it and it'd be a great all-around bike. But it's not built for trail riding or anything like that. It's built motocross, supercross, to jump, to race the piss out of, basically. I'm not Eli Tomac, Kim Roxon, I'm none of those guys. So the 450 is not in my sight, but it's I can't make it up and tell you guys, oh well, yeah, it's a great bike and I loved it and I enjoyed riding it. I can't say that about that KX 450 without smiling, just because it was that much fun, you know. And that's how you know when you're having a good time and when you're really in the groove. Basically, is when you're on that bike and you're just grinning, you're having a great time, and that's what it is. It's awesome. And that is what it's about. If you're not having a good time riding and you're not smiling, laughing, having fun, get off the bike. Maybe you should ride a KX 450. Thanks to my buddy Sean. I appreciate the hell out of you letting me ride that bike, man. Until next week, I'm 10 West Moto, and I'll see you on the starting line.